It's not every day a brand new Ferrari lands up here in India, let alone two of them in just a matter of a month. After the debut of the 849 Testarossa earlier in March, which sits at the upper echelon of the Ferrari range, this year, ladies and gentlemen, is your new entry point to the Ferrari universe. Say hello to the all-new Ferrari Amalfi. The Amalfi is essentially a facelifted Roma, but Ferrari won't call it that. They have given it an all-new name which comes from a very picturesque town on Italy's southern coast. So does this new design live up to that name? Now I know most modern Ferraris have divided opinion on their design, but this one I think is one of the prettier looking ones. There is some resemblance with the 12 Cylindrian and also the Purosangue with this visor-like treatment here, and I know some of you will even see a Toyota Prius in there, but in the flesh it looks rather attractive. Also down below, that cheese grater grille from the Roma is now gone. You instead get a mesh finish, and you'll also notice this contrasting slim trim here that houses the parking sensors and also these very sleek LED headlamps, just above which are functional air intakes to help cool the engine. Speaking of which, under the hood it carries forward the same 3.9 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine from the Roma. It's a front mid-engined rear-wheel drive layout, and the 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox is mounted at the back for better weight distribution. Ferrari says the new engine uses a lighter flat-plane crankshaft, more responsive turbochargers, and it also revs more freely than on the Roma. This engine produces a total of 640 horsepower and 760 Nm of torque, which means compared to the Roma, power is just up by about 20 HP and the torque has remained unchanged. Now that doesn't sound like a lot for a Ferrari in 2026, does it? I mean, it's less powerful than an Aston Martin V8 Vantage, it's less powerful than a Porsche 911 Turbo, but hey, 640 horsepower is still plenty in the real world. It'll still do the 0 to 100 kph run in 3.3 seconds, and it'll go on to do a top speed of 320 kilometers per hour. So it's definitely fast, and most importantly, it has not been adulterated by hybridization or batteries and the added weight that comes with it. It's just a good old combustion engine, and that itself is worth celebrating, I think. Now from the side, there's definitely some resemblance to the Roma, but Ferrari say that all these body panels are completely new. And I really like this classic GT proportion with a long bonnet, a cab back stance, and a short rear overhang. I also really love these rear haunches. Just look how muscular they are, and this definitely has to be my favorite angle of viewing this car. Now these wheels, these are 20 inches both front and rear, and these are milled from a single block of aluminium. When you view them head on, it looks like a simple 5-spoke design, and that itself is very beautiful, I think. But when you look around, you'll notice these holes in each of the spokes, and that I'm guessing helps save some weight and also perhaps helps cool the brakes. At the back, there's an active aero spoiler here that's now repositioned to the edge of the tailgate. On the Roma, it was positioned higher up here, and this has 3 levels to it. This is the base setting. In its most aggressive position, it produces up to 110 kilos of downforce at 250 kph. You also have noticed this very slim LED tail lamp tucked away in this recess here, and overall the rear end has been tidied up compared to the Roma. The number plate housing has been repositioned to this very aggressive diffuser down below, and the tailgate itself has a more slab-sided finish. I however think that this area has far too many panel lines. That's because of the mechanism of the boot, but that's just me nitpicking. And of course, how can we miss these lovely quad exhaust tips? We'll get to what they sound like in a bit. This of course is a GT car, and practicality has to be a part of the package. And taking a look inside the boot, there's actually quite a reasonable amount of space here. It's pretty deep, and you also can electrically fold down the rear seats to free up more space, and then you should be able to slide in a golf bag if you're into that sort of a thing. On the inside, you will have noticed that I am sitting on the wrong side of the car. That's because this is a left-hand drive model and this is just a display unit. But the biggest talking point here is that there are buttons back on the steering wheel. We first saw it on the Testarossa, and now it's here on the Amalfi as well. Ferrari customers apparently hated those haptic-based controls on the steering wheel, and so Ferrari listened. And now there are proper buttons here to control the digital instrument cluster up ahead. There's even a dedicated button to completely switch off the ADAS functions in one go. There's of course your Manantino switch here with the bumpy road setting, but most importantly, there is a proper hard button for the engine start stop. I mean, firing up a Ferrari shouldn't feel the same as unlocking your phone, right? You can also get this new steering wheel retrofitted to any of the previous Ferraris that got those haptic buttons, so that's definitely nice. But if I had to nitpick, there are still some touch-based controls here. For example, there's a panel here for your mirror controls and your lights, and your AC also has to be controlled from the central touchscreen here. It's also mounted pretty low in the dashboard, which means you really have to take your eyes off the road to operate this, and that's never a nice feeling, especially when you're going fast. But on the whole, it's a pretty responsive system. It responds pretty well to your touch inputs, so that's something definitely good. Overall, the dashboard is pretty similar to that of the 12th Chilindri with this twin cockpit layout, and you also have an optional display for the passenger for them to see how fast you are going. Another highlight is this central tunnel here that's finished in this beautiful anodized trim. You can also have this finished in carbon fiber if you want, but I think I prefer this. It looks really expensive, as does the entire cabin. Material quality is top notch everywhere, as you'd expect, and the seats are really snug. And I also really like the doors. They have a very simple design but look so elegant, finished in suede. Now, talking practicality again, you do get a reasonably sized glove box here. The storage under the center armrest is also pretty deep. There's a cup holder here, a wireless charging pad here, and although you do get a couple of rear seats, they are pretty unusable, so you might as well use them for luggage. And now let's finally fire this up and listen to what that engine sounds like, shall we? Sweet. Now, finally coming to the price, this entry-level Ferrari costs a whopping 5.59 crores ex-showroom, and that's even before you start ticking the options list. Not quite entry-level, is it? But then again, in the larger Ferrari universe, where most models cost north of 8 or even 10 crores, this does seem pretty reasonable. It's all relative, of course. So what do you think about the new Ferrari Amalfi? What do you think about its price? And would you pick this over an Aston Martin B8 Vantage? We'd love to hear from you in the comments section. And as always, please do not forget to subscribe to the Autocar India channel. Thank you for watching.